All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Ninja DC, joining again from the not React this time, unfortunately. A podcast video for our, I forget which one. I think this is 14 or 15. I have the exact countdown somewhere else. Joining me again is, going by random Skype order, Daylover and Second.
Hello.
Hey there. Everyone's favorite couple that has been scientifically proven, so do not try to fight it, is here.
I agree.
You may cheer now.
Woo! Hooray.
Make sure you all have your insulin pumps.
Yeah. All of the sweet. Well, we have to have something bending all of this. What is that? Horror themed things.
There you go. Oh, we're supposed to be super sweet, and I better lose the pretentious act then. Come here, you.
He don't room, you kids. Had any opportunity to break out the Granny Smith for that line.
Classic.
Yeah.
All right, and next up, Jen.
Hello, I may be first, I may be last, I may have been Granny Smith for that second, but I'm first and always Jen. Hello, everybody. Today's topic is Halloween. Woohoo! It's the spookiest time of the year. With all the, I swear, I said I was going to write some sort of parody of it, and I haven't done it yet. And I'll figure something. I swear, I'm going to figure some sort of parody out, and then this joke will land properly.
We've got ghosts that are booing and children are doing the real stuff you fear. It's the most spookiest time of the year.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
That's good. I may need some extra help with this.
Yeah,
I know at some point I feel like I feel like some of the Bane horror movie icons should be in something like this, because darn it all, I think Leatherface running through a Michaels with a chainsaw is hilarious.
Yeah.
Actually, that just reminded me of actually would be a good game idea is like a battle royale but with like horror villains.
Oh yeah.
There's already a card game about like that has a Halloween-esque feel to it. I think it's called Psycho Killer or something. I've had my eye on it for months, and I've been wanting it to like play test it with my group, and also give it to a family member as a gift. Google it if you can. I think it's called Psycho Killer, and it's like some sort of like card game or something. It sounds really fun.
Magic the Gathering with a Freddy Krueger deck versus a Jason Voorhees deck.
Oh, they gotta have a Leatherface deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like then the expansion sets, the Leatherface, the Michael Myers, the Pinheads.
Yeah,
they already had Godzilla decks. You can as your commander, you can have Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Biollante.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want a werewolf deck.
They need to have like a classic monster deck, and then like the classic monster deck, and then I guess to movie monster deck, and then the ones with like Jason and like those kind of I guess the mass murderer deck. Yeah, maybe or better just have just one big old giant Halloween deck. I mean, just put it all together.
Yeah, there you go. Like whoever the commanders are, they should be able. What?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, just whoever the commanders are, they should be able to command lots of creatures, lots of
Like I see,
like
I raise
your stuff.
It's like I raise your 2 points with my team of Jason, Leatherface, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and Godzilla.
Oh wow!
Like Magic cards have like 100 card decks. Heck, get the obscure ones in there. Get the species. Get Angela Baker in there. Get Chucky.
Yeah.
Everybody knows him.
Aliens.
Yeah, get the face huggers, get the whatever the other ones are called. How have I already forgotten that?
Oh, you want a really obscure one? I don't know if it's how obscure it is, but yeah, get a Jack the Ripper card.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be fun. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100 years later, it's probably not too soon.
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Actually, speaking of a recent Jack the Ripper thing that was pretty good, is the Batman steampunk one that was like against Jack the Ripper.
Oh, by Gaslight?
Batman steampunk?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Batman by Gaslight, set in Victorian Gotham.
Okay.
That could. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Curious.
I mean, and that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it was very good. Actually, had a good mystery thing to it.
Okay. Because when I heard the title Batman by Gaslight, I imagined like real like old school pulp, maybe even turned back like half a generation before the stereotypical like pulp era. I'm like, ooh, that sounds like some unmined ground, but like instead it's kind of that. It's like a Victorian England grand juggernaut mystery, and
yeah, it's Victorianish and not. It's sort of steampunky, but more Victorian, like with some the same way like there's Batman tech that's sort of ahead of its time.
Okay.
But it's not like it's basically like steampunky at time, but not much. It's more of just very grounded.
Yeah.
That could be
like
fun,
his smoke bomb, like he saw a smoke bomb, but it's like literally him mixing two different things and then throwing on the floor in the glass vials.
Oh, nice. Like the only horror themed Batman episode that I can remember is the one where there's the what's that guy called with the nightmares? Scarecrow. And he makes Batman sleep, but in the dreams he hums Freda Shocker or what it is to get out of there. Drives the villain insane. I don't remember.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. Wait, wasn't that a horror episode of Justice League?
Yeah, I think so.
No. Wait, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the one where the entire Justice League is under dreams except Batman?
Yeah, except Batman.
Yeah, that was
because he's humming Freda Shocker.
What is that ridiculous song going through your head? It's what's keeping you out.
Yeah.
You mean like Freda Shocker?
Yeah, he's humming it.
And then
it's
at the
actually
end,
scary. Like it's scary to hear. Like I know it sounds weird, but it's more scary to hear Batman hum that than the villain himself.
at the end,
you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
after
so
talking
creepy.
about like this is a juicy challenge. You're different from the others. You have no powers, and Batman. Yeah, typical. Yes, we love you, Batman lines. I have one. I never give up.
Yeah.
And then by the end, the villain has been defeated, and he's catatonic, and we revisit him in that state where he's now humming Frere Jacques.
Yeah, that's so creepy.
That actually was one of the better episodes of like Justice League, which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm also thinking about where Joker comes and kills Robin. But that's not a horror theme one.
That's a comic. I don't think that was.
No, it's also a episode.
Did we get a TV adaptation of that?
Oh yeah, we did.
Well, no, the TV one was he didn't kill Robin, he just basically kidnapped and brainwashed and tortured him.
Return of the Joker.
Yeah, well, there is one where he's beating him with iron.
Yeah, well, that's
that was a directed DVD movie.
Okay. Yeah.
It has been adapted, but not in the TV show.
Okay, yeah.
But actually, before we go on to random rants, the last one to introduce me in our introductions is Carlos.
Oh my goodness.
It's been long in the waiting now.
So, you guys have been chatting all about as if I was invisible, as if I wasn't here already, huh?
We're sorry.
Gunmetal Gator's just here saying like, you guys are next on my food chain list.
Oh no!
Return
Oh,
of
no.
Croc.
Hear
Yes,
yourself
you
for
said
some
you'd
treats.
never ignore me. You lied to me. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. Return of the Croc. Return of the Croc.
Hearing the clock ticking, tick, 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 tick,
Well, there
tick,
you
the
go.
clock, and the Croc is coming.
Oh my God, like the Croc and Peter Pan.
Pretty sure
Uh,
doesn't like that sound though.
No, I don't
And
like
then before I know he's yelling Smee!
Yes.
Running around like a scared little girl.
but just before we go off the Batman topic, like, have you all seen that? Like, at least seen the clip, if not the episode, where Harley Quinn is Batman and Batman laughs at her.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the
No.
That's so creepy.
the one where they finally like
So
explore how her
scary.
and the Joker's relationship has gone behind the scenes, and then
Mm.
she is the one who manages to capture Batman at last to make her puddin' happy.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's not making him happy.
Well,
It's actually a clever trap because
she tells Batman
the fish
she's
is going to smile.
she I think reveals some of the whatever it is, she manages to make Batman think that she is gonna reform, and then manages to spring a trap on him that like two things at once that catch him just off guard enough so that she can knock him out, but then like Batman, like when he hears her evil plan, that that's one of the most powerful moments of the episode. He breaks out the bat laugh, and then his weapon for getting out of this particular evil plan is a hard dose of reality.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Jen, I'll send you a link after this because you really had to see it.
Is this
Like,
the one where she gets thrown into the dumpster the dumpster?
Yeah.
Because he says it's like because he's like the joke fails if you land understand the joke.
You're always taking no. I told you long ago, you're always taking shots from people who just don't get the joke.
That's the one? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
That's what he says, yeah. Always taking shots from people who just don't get the joke.
And then she's in the dumpster and not dead. She's like, you're right. I didn't get the joke.
My fault.
But also, it needs to be him capturing Batman, not her. So.
Oh yeah, he's pissed off because he wants to capture Batman, and Harley does it for him instead.
Sure. And then, like, at first he's straight up gonna let Batman go, but then when he realizes, wait a minute, I have Batman at my mercy. How many times does that happen? He tries to call take backsies. Like, maybe I'll just kill you, and too late. Batman's already picked the lock.
Oh. It's just one of those moments. I'm like, it was one of those few really moments.
Yeah. Hey.
But anyway.
Actually,
what have y'all been up to?
Alright.
Daylover and I have a good one. We saw Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Oh yeah, that's
I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was like super rolling my eyes at the first Venom all the way from the trailer, and arguably even a little before that, like, somebody wants to cash in on, hey, look, cool black and white monstery suit thing, and laughed at Turd in the Wind and happily skipped it, but I agree. Let there be carnage.
Yeah.
Let there be. I mean, Tom Hardy and the symbiote, for that matter, are really likable in this, and Woody Harrelson, and I should remember her name because she kills it as Shriek as well. Is it Angela? Is it?
I don't remember.
Well, whatever. They kill it as the delightfully murderous, wicked, carnage-spewing couple. They are a blast.
Yeah. And I don't.
Also, I just want to ask how I just meant to ask because I haven't seen this movie, but I'm just curious. How are the I seen the joke in the trailers. Like is it how far do they go with the symbiote's best friends being chickens go? I'm just curious how that plot line goes.
That's not.
I would say it was an enjoyable accent mark, cutesy little recurring
Yeah.
gag that you
Like you're going to laugh a lot in it too, but there's also serious moments in it.
just enough to make you
So
affectionately shake your head when they show up one last time.
yeah.
Them chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens.
Yeah, he has 2 chickens that he took in.
Yeah.
That his best friend.
Eddie Brock is not so keen on letting him eat brains, so instead there are 2 things. Well, there are animal brains, but I think that's again with the vampires and their blood that doesn't come from humans or whatnot. So they can raid chicken coops for chicken brains, but otherwise the only other thing that has what he needs is chocolate. Which
I am
be enough.
so confused.
Yeah.
Yes,
Me thinks I must see Carnage, right?
Yes, you need to watch it. Although if you have tinnitus like I do, be prepared to stick your fingers in your ears every time screams.
Oh.
Just fair warning, because I did that, and
Okay.
I had a little bit of tinnitus afterwards, even though that I put my fingers in my ears.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only minus for me.
Gotcha. So gotcha. So just be prepared to have my ears blown off.
Yes.
Well, if you have
tinnitus,
as
But that's the fun part.
as someone who does not, I actually got caught off guard that was something that was able to do it for Daylover here. It didn't get me that bad.
Well, like the first time I didn't expected it, so I didn't get to put it in my hand. So it's just like, oh my god, like so my ears are sore. But the next couple of times you could see like she's breathing in, and then I was just like, yeah, okay, here we go. But yeah. But I was really surprised it wasn't as gory or bloody as I thought it would be, because Carnage is like in the comics he's more like bloody villain, boring people, stuff like that.
I mean, it's literally in the name.
Yeah, so I was really worried that it was going to be like a really gore fest, but there's.
I mean, I think he chops up every bit as many people as you'd think he would in this movie, but they make sure it's PG-13.
Yeah.
So it is PG-13.
He's shaky cams and throws them off of stuff. And
yeah, but there is definitely scenes there where you can see that the knife is going into.
Yeah, well, they
specific.
They see how far. I mean, they do to an extent see how far they can push the maxim. That it's not what he's doing; it's whether it's whether you see blood. Like he's escaping a prison, and they make sure to give some of the people he corners time to beg that they have a family before he doesn't care.
Carnage sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a Jenn movie. Definitely.
Well, it's Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Is he Carnage? Is he playing the actual character of Carnage?
Oh yeah, the Cletus Cassidy, the serial killer.
Oh my gosh! I think you just sold it. I think you just sold it to me because I'm like, I gotta see this. Woody Harrelson as Carnage. Okay, I want to see what I want to see. I want to see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see this. By all means, let's open a warm welcome to if Tom Hardy can have a lovely warm welcome in the comic book movie verse. Let's have Woody Harrelson too.
Comic book movie verse. Speaking of that.
Comic book movie verse. Welcome to the comic book movie verse. Have a seat.
Stay for the credits.
Stay for the credits. Enjoy the snacks.
No, seriously, do that.
Let us know if you need anything to
drink. That actually does remind me. I really can't wait for that's the movie I'm really looking forward to. Winter is the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh, you mean the No, it's I forget the name for the third Spider-Man Marvel movie.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Because that's the
Or is it
second one.
No Way Home?
Yeah, No Way
No,
Home.
It's what
You
happens when you
confuse
put
it with the
home in the
second bit.
title twice. I get all dyslexic
No,
and
no,
get them
no.
backwards.
It's literally a running theme in all three Marvel Spider-Man movies: Homecoming, Far From Home, now No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home. Yeah.
Legitimately.
Please let his home be in the MCU, he says.
Mm.
All right. I guess if anyone else doesn't want to talk, I like to bring up my perspective here on the fact that today it's basically I like to say let's just celebrate what today is. It's the 11th anniversary of My Little Ponies airing for Friendship is Magic. Yeah.
Huzzah.
So respect that we're here for another year, even though some of us might not realize it before we started the podcast. But yeah, it definitely is like a nice little anniversary, and seemed like a little bit of that Gen 4 spirit is still going on even in the newer iteration. It's just really nice to feel like after what we did last podcast. So
Yeah.
again,
I was bringing up like I really am curious how like the G5 series will go in like spring.
I'm curious. I'm real curious too. I mean, they did. Darn it all, they did a darn good job with the G5 movie, and we got brand new characters. I'm still salty at the idea of all of G4, the plot of G4 and everything being in a way kind of erased by G5, but I figured, you know what? How else are you going to tell a brand new story if you don't kind of scrap?
Oh, you mean the pony race is not friends anymore?
Right. I'm still salty. I'm still very salty. I was like, yeah, dare you get respected? But at the same time, I see they kind of honor it a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm only about maybe 60% salty. I'll be like, I'm only 60% salty. But then I'm like, okay, you honor it at least. Now I'm like, what happened? Why? Why are we here?
I guess I kind of see it as like the main six achieved, peace in their time, and then like, much like how you never thought Nazis would be a thing again, not just like an occasional, wow, that you found a freakazoid to put in the news who's a Nazi, like,
yeah, and also it's surprisingly. I also looked at the backgrounds of how they do the work. It's very almost modern-esque, almost more modern than what you see in G4. I'm like, okay, all right. So some sort, like, okay, all right. That made me a little bit, okay, we're going to be like 59% less salty. Because I'm like, okay, so this happened. So a lot of time has passed. Now there's like TVs and such in the Pegasi world. So I'm like, okay, so we're in a super modern area than we were in G4. So some time has passed, and people and races have forgotten. So I'm like, okay, all right, okay, I get what you're going here.
Yeah.
59% salty, but
I heard a theory about like there were Wendigos, and they were actually feeding off the the fear and the being like battling each other, and then the Earth Ponies won, as we saw like Sprite in the start talking about like the Earth Pony kicked the other two races out. So instead of being friends, as we saw in the old series, they like broke apart, and then they started the rumors against each other because of the Wendigos.
I forgot. I forgot. Okay, if in my old brain is starting to show here, but I'm trying to remember in the movie, nobody got did everyone got their magic back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone did get okay, sorry about that. I briefly had a brain freeze, and I was like, wait a minute, did they get the magic back in the movie? So
even the animals get their magic back.
Yeah.
Like the
anyone was? Did I hear anybody screams like Fluttershy in the background?
No.
But they got the magic back. So I guess it's just a matter of like the stones being separated or such.
Yes, yes. I also
and
think
the races not being friends.
Yeah.
Okay,
on
now.
top of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's
like
now.
What I'm
now there's an
interested
interesting
in
kind
is
of theory.
Like, yeah, I want to find out why the dad is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Did he fight the Wendigos? So
okay, that seems like a little bit going out on one too many fandom limbs for me to expect it to come true.
And now I'm wondering, like, where did the transfer of magic happen? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
How did it get down to a point where all the magic of this world was confiscated into 3 different stones, and then the 3 stones got separated? What? It pretty much goes back to that. How did we get from
is it the elements of harmony that they have broken down and smelted together to like make 3 different pieces for each race?
Yeah, I will say this about
what were going on. Maybe that was what the dad was working on, like making the Earth Pony crystal, and we have a Pegasi making the Pegasi crystal and a unicorn making the unicorn crystal.
Oh yeah.
And something went wrong, and then the power made them unfriends instead of friends.
Right. Okay.
All of these fan theories.
Yeah, friendship is something you power someone into.
Wait a minute. You just gave me an idea.
Oh
yeah.
You said like friendship was powering this. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Friendship is power?
Yeah.
Oh God, Cozy goes back. Oh my God, Cozy goes back. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's it. Where's my rifle?
That or son. What's that?
That, I swear, if G5, please don't do this, G5. I swear.
Yeah, that was one of the most gimmicky villains you ever threw up at us.
The thing is, though,
and find the nearest hole and dig, and then put myself in it. I'll just be like, dude.
But it could.
Wake me up at G6. Okay.
If she came back, it's going to be hard to redeem her.
What is the thing, DC?
Yes.
No, I was gonna say like it actually has been because like some people thought like how are they gonna introduce like they have like the G4 cast make a surprise appearance with like magic time travel and stuff like that or stuff like.
Interesting.
But the one thing I was just thinking was like, well, technically, if they want to introduce some characters from the past, Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Croziglow could be easily introduced because they're frozen in stone.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh,
so, I'll allow Tyrek and Chrysalis. I'll just barely. I swear. If you get if that thing comes back, I'm out. I'm running out of the room, finding the nearest hole, and I'm just gonna dig myself into it and be like, "Wake me up for G6, okay?"
What if she comes back and she gets reformed, Jen? What are you going to do then?
I think we reform a character who didn't have a.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Plus,
like think about the implications about for Cozy Glow. Like if she wakes to find the world has evolved over 1,000 moons and such, and literally every single opponent that she's known of or any creature she's known of is long dead.
Or maybe they were growing. Maybe she grew up.
How do you reform a character that didn't have a character?
Yeah, that's true.
She had a personality, but it's like, hey, I think that friendship is power, so I want to use it to take over stuff. And you wouldn't suspect me because I'm so cute.
Exactly. That's the thing. That thing is just legit wrong. That is legit wrong. There is no way you can redeem that. And there's only so much I can take of some redemption and of some redemption in this thing, you know. But sometimes you just gotta let things be bad. And those 3 will be like, you know what, just let them Just keep them bad.
Yeah, there needs to be some bad in the world for it to be balanced.
Yeah, well, like
yeah,
I think
I feel like just keep them bad. Just keep them bad. I mean, but then again, I still, part of me still was a little surprised but at the same time, still glad that Chrysalis did not get reformed, but yet the rest of the changelings did. So that's the only indicator. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. The rest
Maybe
of her
not
hive
all.
got reformed, but she's not.
Yeah, but maybe not all changelings is reformed. I still think like there will be.
Please don't make Thorax bad. He's so cute.
they're all gonna be long gone. But yeah, my thing is like I thought that the whole like the writers trying, you say we reform things too much and it starts to feel less sincere. Well, what if we don't reform these things? The only thing that made me like eye roll harder than that is that the fandom fell for it. I'm like, okay.
Probably.
I mean, I don't know. Well, okay, maybe that's me being a little on my soapbox there, but I mean, it's like I like redemptions and stuff. I'm like, to me, it's not the what, it's the how. Have redemptions. Don't have redemptions. Put them in the anti-hero, like only gonna come so far role, whatever.
Right.
But I mean, you have to tell a good story about it.
Right,
you have to make it feel like something that these characters really would go through, get us behind what they're feeling. The fact that you just did it or just didn't do it, anybody can write that.
Yeah.
And then they don't reform. See, I just did it. And then they do reform.
Right. I agree with you. It's of the how. Of the how, I agree. But also with redemptions, lately, but also with redemptions, I have more respect for those. For those that take time to redeem. It's not just boom. It's not instant redemption. Boom, like that. You gotta allow the viewer to sit with it a while, to take time, and put them in some situations in which you see growth. And then there's the immortal rule of show, don't tell, of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like take time to give it the weight and the nuance it deserves.
Yes,
process.
Agreed. We're a little picky. We're a little pickier about our redemptions here,
Yeah.
Sure.
But getting back to the horror theme, what about the 24 days later episode with Rainbow Dash cookies?
28 pranks later.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We already talked a little bit about horror in that part. Cozy Glow. Next.
All right. So what do we want to cover for our Halloween theme? It seems like this is a juicy topic.
Yes.
No, we still have to go where we've been going over, what we've been up to.
Who's next in that
part? What we want to talk about is how we keep tying it back to Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't. Does anyone have? Well, okay. I'm sure you saying that you got something, and
yeah. What do you have?
I'll get off the stage now.
Oh, say that again.
It's Ninja's turn, right?
Oh yes. Yes.
Unless you want to go first, Jen.
No, you go first, Jen. You go first. I feel like I've been talking too much, so I'll shut up.
But let me see. The main two things I was sort of keeping up with anime and stuff like that, but I've sort of paused my watching of Zombieland Saga Season 2 just because the dub is not all the way caught up yet. So in the meantime, I went back and actually watched through the rest of Agretzko. I just finished Season 3 like 30 minutes before this thing started. Mostly because I found it was on my to-do list, and then I seen like, Season 4 comes in December. I'm like, you know what? I probably should get around to watching it. Like, yeah, Season 3 really elevates that show.
Interesting.
That's cool.
I mean, Season 1, 2 are good too. Like, there's sort of a painful factor, like, is like, especially like I still haven't watched the end of Season. I sort of skipped over the end of Season 1 because I knew how it was going to go, but also that's basically like, okay, I know this is a train wreck ready to crash. I'll just skip it. I know what's going to happen. And then
just couldn't pull it out for you, huh?
Yeah. And then the other thing I finally got around to doing on my to-do list is I finally got around to playing Undertale.
Yay!
And it's like I finally get all the references, and dear gosh,
It's such a hard game, though.
Does Flowey know what you did?
Yeah, did Flowey know what you did?
Does Flowey know what you did? Because it knows what I did.
It knows what I did too.
It knows the flower knows.
Yeah. I technically haven't beat it yet, but it's like I'm literally basically have to fight the credits for the true ending. Like that's so like I literally just have to like go to here to get true ending credits.
But what did you do? Like, are you a pacifist or did you kill things?
I did the true pacifist route. I was just about to,
yeah, that's okay.
Did you?
Oh, this is. Yeah,
I hope you
let
Toriel live?
Yeah.
Did you let Toriel live?
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to go back to. Is like it's like I was like going to things like I finally get the memes. It's like I've seen Toriel for like ages, like meme like all that little goat mom thing, like so mean.
Goat
like,
mom.
Yeah, it was like I was like it's like well I don't get what I was like I don't get what's all hype with her. I spent less than 5 minutes with her. Like dear gosh, I was like this is the office me. Is like I spent 5 minutes with this dog. And if anything happens to it, I'll kill. I'm like I said like that's my exact thought because eventually like within 5 minutes of like interacting with her, was like I will do whatever it takes to get the best ending possible for this goat mom.
Yeah. Like and then you run through the game like 10 times and then you're like, I wonder what happens if I
I'm going the true pacifist route. I am getting her happy ending.
Good. Yeah. Don't make the mistake I did.
Yeah, or me.
It still haunts me. It still haunts me to this day.
I was like doing pacifist and then neutral and then I played it a couple of times and then I was just like, oh no, I'm bored. I want to see what happens if I go like true. And then I tried to play it again and then I was just like, oh no.
But AJ, so Jen, you haven't gone back and tried the true pacifist route where you don't kill her?
Yes.
I haven't. I'm too traumatized. I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. I'm concentrating on. I'm like 1 day at a time. I'm concentrating on Twilight Princess.
Yes.
I'm concentrating on Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I feel like if I finish that one, I'll be like, okay, I have finally played all my Wii games, and now I'm ready. I will be properly ready for a Switch.
Yeah.
Now I just need the funds.
Yeah. And I'm still
anyone? Bueller?
I'm still frustrated that they have not announced that Twilight Princess and Wind Waker remake for the Switch. It's like, dang it, Nintendo.
They gotta do the second Breath of the Wild first. I'd be like, you know what? As beautiful as the first one was, I'd be like, you know what, Nintendo or team, Legend of Zelda team, take your time. Take your time. We will be happy with. We will properly be satisfied with Breath of the Wild 2 while you work on the remake, and then we'll just like be like. We'll just be playing and be like, and we'll hear nothing. We're still playing, and then we're done. After I don't know how long Mountain played, it's like, okay, anything yet?
The thing is, though, they've already had the grunt work done because they had an HD remake for those two for the Wii U, but it's trapped on the Wii U.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Be right back, everybody. I'll be right back.
Right.
Actually, something that I didn't know that you can get for the Switch is Stardew Valley. So I'm going to get that soon too.
Yeah. I think Stardew Valley is just sort of like Undertale. It's like it's basically everywhere now.
That makes it so much better. I'm addicted to Animal Crossing. Just saying. I got the Switch and I got my Animal Crossing. I'm almost like have filled out the museum and stuff like that. I'm like, no, it's not good.
Yeah. I played. I actually got into Animal Crossing for the 3DS version, New Leaf, which that made me sort of like. Luckily, that's like when Isabel was introduced, so at least I got introduced to her. Because I found it's not really my thing, mostly because like I like completing games and like you can't really complete like you can complete like air quotes complete a Animal Crossing game, but you don't really complete an Animal Crossing game.
No, but it's fine with me that it's going to be open-ended. I'm going to complete all of the small stuff. Right now I'm trying to figure out how you get the iron stones, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, I was just like so surprised how beautiful it was and how much I enjoyed playing it. I can't wait to get over games for the Switch too.
Wait, you did get a Switch yet, or?
Yeah, I can't, like, that's what I'm saying. I have a Switch now with Animal Crossing.
Hey guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what were we just talking about?
Just going over stuff I've been doing. I just went over. I finished Agretzko and also just finished Undertale, or basically finished Undertale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gotcha. I mean,
be ready for like typing.
I mean,
yeah, we're getting ready to move over to our news stuff in Halloween, which news won't take long. Because you already covered.
I definitely would mention like about like the shows then for news. The only thing I would say for like other stuff I did, Netflix decided to added like one of my favorite sports animes of all time. Well, like the first 2 seasons of it, that being Yoramushi Pedal.
Okay.
Which is the cycling anime.
Mm.
And which like in Otaku, literally it's the main character who rides like on a what people call a mommy bike, like up like a hill to get to like high school every single day, and how he eventually comes to join the cycling team after he finds out that the anime club has been disbanded, and he tries to like make the anime club a thing again.
No.
And it's basically a sports anime that is feels very much like a shonen, in which every single character you see has like has a very good backstory and such, and it's just like all these people you can't find a character to really dislike, even the people who use dishonest methods, because everything is like fair game in the terms of like competitive cycling. Like, and it's just like a really awesome show, like in which like we have our 3 main focal characters who are like 3 first years in high school. That being like our main character Onoda, who is basically the climber, basically a guy who's really good at like going up hills and such or mountains. Then we have Noriko, who is basically the redhead, energetic like a small character, you know, the usual Naruto and such character. He's basically a sprinter. And then we have the calm, cool, and collected like Imaizumi, who's basically like the Itachi Sasuke like character, who's very much like a cool reserve and has like a very angsty like a longing for like competition because of like stuff that went on like in a past race.
Okay.
Yeah, like, and these characters would develop and evolve, and you would see like the unconventionalness of like a team like this going up against some of like the top athletes of like different high school teams in like in the inter-high competition, and how even like the rival teams have their own backstories and such, including like one of the most creepiest anime characters of all time. A guy who I would think, if he was there in the 1500s, would inspire the Scream himself, Midosuchi. And what I'm going to show you guys a rendition of this guy's image right now, just so you guys understand how creepy this guy is. Don't be alarmed.
Okay.
By the following image that will possibly haunt your dreams, because this is October, and everything's fair game in October.
Okay, I'm back. Ooh, sorry about that.
Jenn, tell me what you think about this character when you see this here.
I want to be like Charlie's Angels right now. Creepy thin man.
Creepy man.
Wow.
Yes! This guy is an actual rival character in a sports anime.
I think Nightmare Fuel.
I'm thinking about those Titans from Attack on Titans.
Thank you. That's again. The smile gave me nightmares, gave me nightmares of the Smiling Titan. I was like, what is this Attack on Titan 2 or some crap? Yeah, I'm getting nightmare fuel from this.
Yeah. Like, and he's a character I absolutely love. Like, I don't hate him at all, despite the fact, like, because, like, he's basically like the type of guy who's very much unhinged. And it's like, even though they show you, like, his backstory and such, it doesn't, like, excuse him for, like, some of the jerkish stuff he does, even though it's supposed to be, like, a sad backstory. It's just, like, this is the type of guy he is, and people soon learn to accept him for what he is.
No,
As, like, an actual fierce
scary.
competitor.
that's
Yes.
scary.
That looks scary. That looks scary. Very.
Yeah. Well, this guy is now on Netflix, so you can definitely watch him just for like October, just to be like, hey, I just watched a sports anime for Halloween. Oh, why would you do that? This thing is a character in it. All the justification you have. But yeah, that's all for me for like watching like some old shows like while I was playing like my game and such. I'll definitely give you guys more information on the news segment for like new October shows that fit the theme for Halloween this year.
It's an interesting idea. Oh, you mean like Chucky?
Oh boy, I just saw a promo for Chucky.
Yeah,
That's so
that is
weird.
the horror film from the 80s is still continuing with the same timeline and some of the same production team.
Mm-hmm. Is it the same actor too?
Yes!
It is.
Wow.
Brad Dourif
That's insane.
still voices Chucky.
Still sounds the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's been awesome.
Still sounds good.
And, which, I mean, and actually the Child's Play franchise was yet another one that had, yeah, well, maybe the first movie was good, but, like, it's almost like going direct to DVD was the best thing that ever happened when it started to get flippin' good again.
Yeah. I actually also like Bride of Chucky. I know that a lot of people don't like that one, but as long as it's not Seed of Chucky, we'll be fine.
Yep.
Which Chucky?
Seed of, that's
The most recent
that
one where
one.
they tried to be funny, and why they're
Yeah.
not trying to be funny anymore. Well, they're going for more like a better balance, I guess.
Bride of Chucky is like a good B movie.
Oh yeah, that's the one where Jennifer Tilly
Yes.
voices the girl doll.
Yes.
Yes.
That was awesome too. I was thinking that was awesome too, but like she does such a good job.
Yeah.
You did such a good job, and now I can't hear her voice without having the bride of Chucky
having
in
the
my
doll
face.
in your-
God.
And yeah.
It gets better. As much as you should never see Seed of Chucky, that had the amusing decision that to get some new human bodies, the Chucky and Tilly dolls, they invade Hollywood and capture the Tillys, they capture the. Yeah, no, what was her? I'm getting names mixed up. But yeah, the short of it is that Jennifer Tilly's character canonically took over the body of Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
And then in Cult of Chucky, when she shows back up, you look a lot like Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, I get that a lot.
Sorry.
Hey. So,
But
I guess before we move on to this segment, things we've been up to, everybody's heard me, I think, go on too long about the, heavyweight boxing, one champion to rule them all at long last. Basically, tournament going on. Well, yeah, short of it is, last night, the two guys who, I guess it's the equivalent of the semifinals, even it's not an official tournament, but yeah, equivalent of the semifinals, the two guys who many people thought were the two best and the whole thing settled right there, had one of the greatest title fights of all time. So, like, knocking each other all over the ring. The guy who was, like, the underdog who got killed in their second fight, pretty good. Like, it started out seeming like, oh, look, he's going to lose again. And then he came out like out of nowhere, like knocked the guy down twice in a row, had him almost out, and then it was a war. And yet, but dust settled, and the guy who was ahead has now, in the trilogy that is, has now won it once and for all, and it's him versus whoever's going to make it to the finals with him. That's actually less interesting. But yeah, they said that was an instant classic, as in, like, on a short list with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fighting each other.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean,
was that the one with Tyson Fury?
Yep.
Ah, my roommate had that fight on last night.
Okay. Yeah, no spoilers, that makes sense. No spoilers.
Yeah, so we do it. So we talked. Who else needs to talk about, like, what's up with them?
What's up with that? What's up with that?
I think go to you, Jenn.
Wait a minute, Derek. Quick question. Did you talk about at all about Yashahime season 2?
Not yet. I mean,
that's right. Really. Oh yeah, that's right. The dub. Yeah, that's right. The dub's not out yet. That's why you wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, and I want to give it some time, just because I know it just started like last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah. I got caught up because apparently I missed out the last 4 episodes of season 1, so I fully caught up with Yashahime, and yeah, I'm not. I just feel awkward about it right now. But anyhow, I guess aside from that, I'm fit. Oh, sorry.
So it's not really a good picking up thing.
The last few episodes wasn't really making it a strong case for like the plot for Yashahime right now, but
yeah. These continuations don't have the best track record. Besides, actually, I think Fairy Tail's 100-Year Quest is actually like the one that's doing well in terms of people actually like it, because Boruto is not beloved.
Oh God! Do you want to know what they did in Boruto? That even I heard.
I think even CNN reported on it.
Oh yeah.
CNN.
Oh yeah, they killed off the first character shown in Naruto.
Oh yeah, that's right. Off. Yeah.
CNN reported on this?
Yes, like
things that make it into the news sometimes.
Wow.
Yes.
And they're not upset about Kakashi, so why are they upset now?
Wait a minute,
I don't get it.
What happens with Kakashi?
I'm not spoiling anything. You just have to watch it.
You evil woman, you. God.
Yeah. I stand by my earlier points we were talking before. Like, I feel Boruto would have been stronger if they, because like all this is happening just to basically give Boruto like a chance to like basically stand on his own with it, because like Naruto and Sasuke were such high bars, it's like impossible to reach. So it's like, let's lower the bars. Like, this is just stupid, right?
Sasuke, high bar, huh?
In terms of power.
Excuse me while I laugh.
All right. Oh, and also like the Pokemon YouTube channel posted like Pokemon.
You talked over the laugh, Gator.
I'm sorry. I thought the laugh was finished.
It's okay.
Yeah. I think that's a summary of like everyone's thoughts and board. Like, these continue. Like, I still want to see where it's going with the Yashahime thing, because I feel it's not as bad as Boruto, because the author is, as I recall, someone involved, so it's not as good, but it still feels like a part of it. But Boruto just feels like its own thing, and it's
like if they had called it something else and didn't have it like connected to Naruto at all, I think like it would have worked better. It's just like there's a reason why it's called Boruto. It's boring. Boring.
Ew. Zing.
Sorry. And I was actually I was really trying. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a chance, because like I'm one of the ones that's like, I'm not influenced that much about like what other people say. But the main lead is just like, why?
That's the thing. Like I keep bringing it up. Is like I feel the worst thing about Boruto is Boruto. Like
Yes.
all the other supporting cast and like even the continuations with the older cast from Naruto, they're done pretty decently well. But the biggest problem is like the show focuses and revolves around Boruto, which is like the worst character in the show.
Mhm.
Like, why not take a page out of Yashihime? Focus on not the direct descendant of the main character.
It
Focus
could
on
have been more
someone.
interesting if it focused on the other. What's that? Just
Are you talking about Sarada?
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, actually, I
you know,
like from what
yeah,
I've seen,
yeah,
I like
Sarada, yeah.
Stardom.
I mean, or maybe
mad.
even like the filler character that they introduced. That feels like a much more better version of Sai more than anything.
I
Like
forgot.
like the soon council president for like Boruto's group class.
Oh no, I think that's a little bit too far for me.
I know, I know it's a
The
bit
thing is,
far
like,
off.
to go
in the
back to
sense that-
Yashihime, where I feel it's at least better is like at least the main cast actually really like.
What about Evil Guy's son? I forgot his name. But if it
Oh
would
yeah,
focus on him instead,
Orochimaru-san,
like
Mitsuki,
that,
with Mitsuki.
yeah, Mitsuki. Like if it was about him, like and how he had his upbringing and stuff like that, I'm just like that's so much more interesting to me.
That's the thing. Go back, like the biggest thing is like he's like all the other characters are just more interesting than like Sarada has like basically deal with her father being basically a hero but also a wanted criminal, and so never really around when she's growing up. That one
Right.
Snakehead has to deal with it like basically a similar thing where that screwed up like backstory with Orochimaru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'll have the other supporting cast. Like even like Himamari like is an interesting like who a not interesting character, especially her dealings with the tail beast. It's like all of this like and Boruto just feels like a worse version of uh Konohamaru. Like it's basically because Konohamaru at least had some understanding of like his backstory. But, like he grew like in Naruto like and he was a little bit of bad. Like he wasn't that bad, but Boruto was just like the worst parts of that.
Mm. And
It's like my dad doesn't give me a full much of attention. He's like he still tries to give you attention. Like oh yeah, it's a shadow clone. He's still putting in effort.
yeah.
But a shadow clone both puts in effort.
Like it's just frustrating. It's like that's your big hang. It's like like all right. Anyway, moving on to other thing. Any other thing before we move on to news story, which is
There's also is like the premiere of Amphibia season 3,
Woo.
which we're gonna be getting the end for like such a great Disney isekai story by going on
actually-
the reverse isekai spectrum here.
actually that brings me up to a bad news story I forgot to bring up. Is that oh yeah, there's not gonna be a season 4 of Owl House.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because Disney's not is not in their culture. It's like screw you, you genocide supporting assholes.
Yeah, that's just it's like at this moment it's like I don't know if I should probably say this next show like in the news segment because like yeah Disney's new path in life. Yeah, we're no longer in that age of like Gravity Falls series. Fortunately.
Hey,
Yep.
this more from the wonderful world of capitalism, or like, which I'd say like, and let me clarify, as in the philosophy of company of when a company has a philosophy that, well, on one hand there is like really no moral floor to us if we support this. On the other hand, it is objectively what sells,
Yeah.
where the market is at.
Well, then they should sell something else, but that wouldn't be good on a Disney Channel.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be clear, I don't. I'm not trying to debate like government philosophies or something. I'm talking like just purely from the standpoint of when a unit's bottom line is, hey, that objectively makes the profit.
Yeah, but if you try to basically the problem with that is like there's a debate like, oh yeah, the justification like well, it's profit driven, you must go by the numbers. Yeah, but you can't really do that with artistic things because that just it always ends up backfiring in the long run. Like just like a Disney Star Wars, that's such a by the numbers. They're trying to do things without sort of artistic intent, and every movie made less in a new Star Wars trilogy. In the previous, and the toy sales are in the gutter.
Yeah. Well, they had a they almost went like more MCU than the MCU with that route to their detriment that like every single artist except J.J. Abrams and Rise of Skywalker came in with a very specific and strong vision of what they wanted to do, but there just didn't happen to be one of those for what the trilogy was besides thing that sells to fanboys.
But with that said, I think we do need to transition to the news so we can go to the main topic.
All right,
but on the plus side, basically we covered almost all the news stories. The G4 anniversary, then the like stuff like season 4 of Owl House. But there is one news story that I feel that we sort of have to cover that's Disney adjacent. That the final Smash character is Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
The one, it's like there's the good news and there's bad news with that. The good news is, well, Kingdom Hearts now, like Sora. The good news is, well, Sora's is in Smash now, or will be soon. The bad news is, like going back to sort of the Disney actor is, he's Sora from Kingdom Hearts, but they're removing all the Disney references in his use, which sort of takes away his best cool factor.
It's like the young Sora. It's the young Sora. It's not the KH3 Sora.
No,
I mean, even though there's all the Soras for the main games, including 3D, because 3D was a big plot point. God,
yeah, so they have all these Soras, and it just but like there's literally like in the background details they have like where they have some really cool stages, but like in the stages how they have references like the character portraits as like they remove like Donald and Goofy from them and replace them with like just generic background image stuff
and Wayfinder,
and then all of his magic attacks are just sort of like the basic fire and attack, basically fire and ice attacks from like Final Fantasy magic. No like Disney characters use, which is like, but that's the thing that defines it. Like Kingdom Hearts is more about the Disney side than the Final Fantasy side, at least the main games. So it just feels it's like gosh dang it, Disney, can't you just
Yeah, well, like maybe they're just worried about lawsuits.
Disney just doesn't want to go up against Sony or Square.
Yeah.
So, really, can you imagine that fight?
They're probably going to own Sony and Square at some point too.
That's sort of the thing. Going back with the Kingdom Hearts thing, like I think there was even talked about like that actually was the most voted fan poll, like character you want, but like they waited so long for it just because it was all the negotiations involved. Because to get him in there, they needed to. This involved basically Nintendo, Square Enix, and Disney working together on something, all of which are notoriously bad.
Ugh, that sounds like a hassle.
Dang.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like nothing good can come from this?
Oh.
I have this feeling of anticipation, reference, and yet a feeling of dread.
Guys, this is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Scream in the dead of night.
That actually transitions into our main topic, which is Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween. Halloween.
Yeah. We even have a reference in the new My Little Pony movie with Psycho.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Look, one last thing about it. The one thing I absolutely just love is when they, when they were doing like a little kind of homage to G4 in the beginning,
Mm.
and then they made like Rarity have that face.
Oh yeah, that's so amazing.
I am drawing my OC. I'm gonna redraw my OC with
like
that face.
Oh wow!
That was the psycho face that I had been waiting for, and I was like, oh, yeah.
I was thinking about the Beth. Like, there's the Easy song. This is how a unicorn walks. There's a scene where she's in behind like some curtains, and you can see her holding something that looks like a knife, but it's not a knife. It's something. Yeah. I was just like, hey, a Psycho reference, and he even sings. Oh yeah. He even sings like they thought like the unicorns were psycho, and I was just like, okay, put it on a little bit more. Why don't you? Oh, and also the creepy unicorn forest with the children going like bing boing, bing boing. It's just like, no, why?
Yeah, agreed.
But I guess let's just sort of start this discussion Halloween out. So what's all of our like personal histories like as childhoods with Halloween? Were you all into did you all do the trick or treating when you were a kid?
Hell yeah.
Trick or treating in the big city, which is basically going to like different stores which would offer candy. Yes.
I had the I didn't have the actual trick or treating experience until age 10 when we moved from our little town here into into a suburb for the first time in my life, and it wasn't until then that I actually had the trick or treating experience. So it wasn't until then, but it was still, but of course it was every bit as fun and such.
Yeah. Unless your neighborhood just kind of sucks, trick or treating's pretty good everywhere.
Yeah. How was your experience? Because mine is going to be much different than your guys's.
Yeah, I was curious what yours would be.
So I will let Second go first.
But no, like I guess I was one of those kids who trick or treated a little too long. Like, yeah, pretty much all the way through middle school. But then you start to become more enterprising, think efficiency, don't crisscross. Up and down the street, run all the way up one side and all the way back down the other, save time, all that good stuff. I was a superhero for a very long time, different kinds of superheroes before I was like, hey, maybe I should be something scary or something.
Aww.
But,
nice.
Yeah.
Costume wise, oh wow. Costume wise, it was just really anything that just came to my mind, honestly. Like I don't have a lot of memory of what I dressed up as. I just have one. I remember dressing up as a gypsy once when I was like 5 years old. Only because I put that memory with pain because that was the first time I'd ever had my ears pierced. So that's why that memory stuck. But that was probably 5. But then the rest, I have no bloody clue. But it's not until up until maybe 18 that I have memory again of dressing up, because for 5+ years I dressed up as the same character. I'm obsessed with the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I dressed up as her about 5 years in a row, and I'm gonna do it again. This year.
Can't wait to see the pics of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I had this idea. I was really going for years. I did like kind of variations on the character, and there was one where the character was the dress. The quote dress, 2-piece dress, was definitely meant for a skinny person. So, and as somebody who loves carbs very much, yeah, that was an experience. I was like thankful this is Halloween, so nobody would give me any crap about it. I was thinking, hopefully nobody gonna look at me. So I put some like really grotesque makeup on, so that way nobody would be distracted that I had a belly hanging out. So I put like lots of stitches and like quote stitches and like open wounds on my face and arms, so I'd hopefully everybody would be distracted. So and the wig was kind of weird, but I've been obsessed with like the classic Bride of Frankenstein for a while. So I wanted to get like some good material to make her quote shroud and such, but I've run out of time and funds, so I gotta go back to the cheap Halloween thing. But I'll make it work.
Just make a skimpy nurse.
No.
Good, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hello, nurse.
No. A spooky ghost. You only need what?
You do only need like a spooky ghost costume, but the cool thing is it comes with a cape, and I love capes. So,
well, like I was thinking about getting a bed sheet over your head and then cutting 2 holes.
Oh,
have a ghost.
That's too easy.
Now you're starting to be demanding too. What do you want?
A Charlie Brown ghost with lots of holes in it.
There's also it's classic, yeah, but it's simple. There's also one where somebody made where you actually could make a ninja mask out of an old black T-shirt. That's a genius.
You could make a headless horseman. Go and get a pumpkin head and like put your head down in your T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could do that.
That's also a cheap option.
Yeah. It could work. It could work. Yeah. What's everybody? The only thing about Halloween costumes is just that, it's just that the whole sexy costume genre. I mean, you can make anything sexy. You're just like, yeah. And now I feel like because of that, it's like Halloween has lost some of its kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, honor. Because people have been saying like, oh, that's okay. Girls use that excuse to dress like sluts, and I'm like,
yeah, well.
To which my response would be like, well, you use that excuse, like, well, you're up, you know. but yeah, everybody. But I think everything can be made into a sexy version of it, which is silly.
Yeah,
just a bit.
But I actually I have experienced trick-or-treating, but with me, it's a little bit different because we don't have Halloween in Denmark, or we have it now, but we didn't have it when I was that young. We have something called fastelavn instead.
Fastelavn?
Yeah, fastelavn. And it's also basically the children go out and to door to trick or treat. You can dress up as anything that you want, so it doesn't need to be scary. It can also be fairies or like something joyful, and then you go to a party where you take a bat and then you like punch a hole into this barrel with candy in it.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds very similar.
In good old days, there was a live cat in there, but I'm not that old, so.
Good old day, older than us, right?
Yeah. Like in really old days, so yeah. Oh, God. Thankfully, there's not that anymore. Thankfully, it's candy. Some places also use a piñata because like the barrel is like a little hard for, you know, children.
Yeah.
But I remember my first experience with trick or treating. Like it was me and my mom, and I was dressed as a dragon, going from door to door. And when you go to a door, they open up, and you're like, you have to do something to get your treat. So I was singing. Like I went from door to door, sang a little song from my notebook, and then I got some money or I got candy. When I became older, it was more money. So it was like when I was 13, I remember I made over 1,000 kroner by trick-or-treating because we were living out in the country, and like I was one of the only children doing this or young teens doing this. So that's pretty good.
That's a shade or two under $200.
Yeah. But I remember giving it all to my mom and being like, yeah, this is going to go to the Sega Genesis that me and my brother wants for Christmas. So that's what we got for Christmas. We got a Sega Genesis with 2 games.
I think in the old days when you were growing up, that would probably be closer to $400.
That's right. It was
inflation
nice.
And all that.
Yeah, my mom was so surprised that I got all of these small money because it's like 5 kroner or 10 kroner or 20 kroner. It depends on like how well you're performing your stuff, but they could also be like, I'm not going to give you anything and smack the door in your face. Then you're allowed to TP the house. I did that too. I egged the house and I TP the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really know you at all.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's interesting how it sounds so. It's interesting how it's all how it has such parallels to.
Yeah.
I guess Halloween traditions here.
And I have
with the
been
exception
dressed
of
up.
beating a live cat.
Yeah, and I have been dressed up as everything under the sun. So a dragon, a lion, a ballerina, as you said, like a Indian dancer. Like I've been like everything, including a demon while I was here.
I remember that.
For my first real Halloween, I was a demon.
Yeah, and I was the enslaved
Reaper.
demon servant, or the Grim Reaper, I guess.
So that was fun. But basically, yeah, I think like it had become more like Halloweenish. Like even in Denmark, they're going to go more towards, because like now it's frowned upon to go from door to door to ask for money. So like they're being like, oh, more Halloweenish, where like you get candy or stuff like that. But I think it's a shame that the fastelavn is like it's going to die and Halloween is going to take over, which I am fine with now that I'm living here. But if I like, I'll still like at fastelavn maybe be like, put a cat in the, like a cardboard cat in the window or something.
Not in a barrel.
No,
that poor, like, I don't understand why people did that, but yeah.
I know what
They
college
did
frat
stupid
houses do on Halloween. I have a feeling we have no room to talk over here.
No, but we also did burn witches and stuff like that for Sankte Hans, so that's also different. Oh, I guess everybody did that, but we have a holiday where we're like burning still a fire to be like, oh, we once did this. Woo!
Ooh.
Not a thing. But yeah, I also remember like at one time I went to Taekwondo and we had to kick the barrel down, and I won the queen crown and the king crown.
Nice.
The queen crown you win by kicking down the last pen, and the king crown you win by kicking out the bottom, so all of the candy goes on.
Nice.
But I remember I had to give away the king crown because like the guy that was behind me was like, you know, a little too jealous. So I was like, here you go. I don't mind.
Wow.
Just as long as I get the queen crown, because I thought I earned that because I heard my foot doing that.
Oh.
But there's a lot of candy in those barrels. Like they're filled to the brim every time. No matter where you go, the pinatas or the barrels will be filled with like. It also depends on the house. But I just remember like the first time I realized that it was just like filled with all of this good stuff. So like Twix and M&Ms and all sorts of candy, marshmallows. There's like everything in there. Gummy bears.
Yes, I'm a gummy bear. Yes, I'm a
Yeah,
gummy
so
bear.
that's pretty interesting. But I also like Halloween here. Like the decorations is amazing and stuff like that. And even like I'm actually a little bit like Fluttershy here. I would like to, if it becomes too much, I would like to stay in, but I would also like to go out and see the stuff because I'm an extrovert. So it's like battling myself with like, how brave am I today? Like going out. I think like the worst, we have been to a scare house here for Halloween. And I think like that's the worst thing I have done for Halloween that scared me. But it's not the scariest thing that I have done in real life. So yeah.
Or the scare house wasn't exactly the place that gives you quarter if you're claustrophobic.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Which I am. I also have height sickness and flight sickness.
Oh dear.
And afraid of bees.
Well, that last one, you're kind of like everybody.
Well, like, don't you remember in the scare house there was this section with a big bee and like big bee noises
That's
and
all you need.
like small cases with live bees in them? And I was just like, why? Why does this have to be here?
Why the bees?
And somebody with a live chainsaw, even though he didn't do anything with it.
Well, I don't think there was a chain
like,
on it,
what?
but yeah.
What in the world? That's so dangerous.
I don't think there was a chain on it.
Oh, there was no chain. Well, it can still saw you go. Yeah. Well, never mind.
Moving on.
Yay!
Trick or treating. Did it like?
But
I was growing up. Every costume I had to have a sword. I would like sword fight.
Oh yeah.
All the way down the street trick or treating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plastic sword fighting people.
Yeah, I have been a Power Ranger too, and what is that? A knight.
Hey.
Woo! With a small tree sword. Stabby stab.
But it seems like I'm
and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
But it seems like we're interrupting the change in direction there. So.
No, I was just gonna upgrade to like go over to like because we were talking about our kids and when we were kids dressed in costume. Yeah. I just want to sort of talk about like what does Halloween mean to us sort of now more as adults, and because there's actually sort of 2 points which I might as well combine to bring up the other point is like because I feel Halloween, if you haven't noticed, it's sort of transitioned from more of a kid's holiday to more of an adult holiday.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe on some level, I'm sure it always was. Like, I'm sure there always was some place to go drink it up and party on Halloween. But I mean, like the ways that you can have fun with it as you grow up might just be more like readily apparent now. Actually, it might be just the world is a little more open to that, but I don't know. I think that like trick-or-treating is strong as it always was, but I mean, I won't, defy you that we are getting a lot more trends for the older people, or...
I disagree that that's shifted more towards kids. I think there's still a balance. I think there always was, and I think it's still the balance between kid and how an adult is still there because there's a definite line for like what's good for kids and what's good for adults. I think it's that balance is still is still there. One thing that's never left is just the idea of a celebration atmosphere, and whatever and of course whatever the positive and negative connotations of it are. There are, although one thing I'm seeing now is more people, what I'm coming across now is people that are electing to opt out of Halloween for religious reasons. I have a family member, and I just asked this innocent question about like, oh, so what are you doing for Halloween? I get told I get told like I don't celebrate pagan holidays, and I was like, okay.
Then you don't celebrate Christmas either.
I did not have the smarts at the time to retort with that, and and this is a very sweet relative. So I was like, just be respectful, and bite your tongue,
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically they have the comeback that the Christian traditions have been merged with the pagan festival. It's just that the Christians like to conveniently forget that that's how it happened, as opposed to
Now my younger sister would actually is like almost like Honey Badger. She would probably, if she were in my position, and if she asked this relative that and got that answer, she'd rattle off. She would rattle off of how Christmas is a pagan holiday, and Christmas is a pagan holiday, and blah blah, and all that stuff, and I'd just be just eating popcorn, watching the chaos.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are correct. I disagree, but I agree that I think the balance is still there. We're having more people just opt out of it because of like religious reasons. And I'm hearing more people doing that for religious reasons. Part of me thinks it's kind of ridiculous, but whatever.
Well, actually, I think I've noticed that being less, because I know people opting out for religious reasons. That's not new. I mean, how King of the Hill made a joke about that, like, I think it's first or second season back in the 90s. So it's not a new thing. Right. But the one thing I feel like, part of why I feel it's becoming more of adults is I feel like Halloween's become less of an individual holiday, that isn't like, oh, it's Halloween on the 31st, and more of a month-long holiday in a similar way to Christmas is. And that's where I feel it's becoming more of an adult thing, because like, in terms of like pure Halloween, I feel that might be more of a kid's, but like Halloween season is a very big thing. Like I mean, it's not
marketing it gets bigger and bigger. Like companies have found that there are things people want to purchase from them for this Halloween season. And on some level, I'm like, why the heck not? If you're someone who's, around my age, who can make something fun out of Halloween, who can get into it in some way, come up for people to do, to get together and have a great time, I gotta like you at least a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wait until like we get our own house. So I'm going to make it so creepy for the children.
Yeah, I hope somebody's doing something this year after nobody was doing anything all through 2020 for obvious reasons. Yeah, I want to go to some Monster Mashes this year.
Yeah.
So I will give mad respect, like if you've seen the video on Facebook or something where like for Halloween last year, someone had like a Grim Reaper like thing on like a zip line that would like drop candy off at the end of the street and then come back. Like a mini like Grim Reaper ghost thing that had like a little candy bucket, just basically zip line down to the end of the hall, then back up just for kids for Halloween during pandemic times. Like, okay, you get the Halloween award of this year.
Yeah, as long as they're not hurting anybody or themselves, I'm all for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't go to a line where I'm like, no, it's not fun anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the scare kids champion of the of my time growing up was this neighbor who would always just like line up a bunch of life-size porcelain dolls on the porch, just sitting there, and then dress up as one and sit perfectly still with them, and then every time,
so creepy.
Yeah, they're like the stream of kids would be just spaced out enough so that no one would realize that every time you got close, it was gonna move as you went for the candy bucket. And scared the heck out of my sister one night, and my dad who remembered this from last year. Yeah, not only let it happen, but encouraged it. Go on, Nat, why don't you go and take one? And she runs up and screams her head off when it moves and turns towards her. Even after seeing that, myself, they almost got me one year because they changed it up so that they were hidden on the porch a little bit, like sitting tangential to the door or perpendicular to the door, and like on a bench. And then you'd go and you'd knock on the door and you'd like realize that something was next to you just as they were standing up. And I withdrew drew back for a second. I was like, I remember that from last year. And they shrugged and gave me some candy.
Aw.
Almost got me on the mix-up.
Mm.
On the change-up.
I think there's a lot more. Another thing with a Halloween for adults is there's like more like there's more adult events for adults just who want to just enjoy just dressing up in a costume and partying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you make the right crowd of friends, which you probably have more avenues than ever for that, yeah, you can get yourself a costume party. But I mean, like, I won't pretend that wasn't always a thing on some level growing up. Yeah, my mom, like, had the whole neighborhood over, had a big Halloween scavenger hunt one year, and then she and my dad, another year went to a costume party buying the geekiest, most frumpy, tone-deaf clothes they could possibly find to go to the party as a couple of geeks. And they did such a good job that somebody thought that was just them, that they weren't wearing a costume.
What? Yeah. I could definitely be a geek this year too. I have to clothes for it.
Mm-hmm. Boy. Yeah. Fun stuff. But I don't know yet what I'm doing this year. We had one friend who volunteered to make a pumpkin loaf cheese, or pumpkin loaf, I think it was.
I don't know.
Or was it a pumpkin cheesecake? Whatever it was, I'm like, okay, yeah, you throw any kind of party you want, I'm there.
But if he's holding that party, we're coming in costume.
Yeah. I got lots of old masks and stuff. Like, we never actually got to go out the year you came up with the demon costume. It was called off at the last minute.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Sadly.
Could bring that back.
If we can go out this year like that, that would be nice.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
I hope that there's one thing I know I'm going to be doing. Two things I'm probably going to be doing is, actually no, I take it back. There's probably three. This is going to be an eventful Halloween weekend. So 29th, I'm going to a friend's wedding, and her birthday is on Halloween.
Oh,
the 30th, I believe. Is it the 30th? Yeah, the 30th. I hope so. Yeah, I hope I got it right. The 30th, one of my family members is having a concert, and it's going to be one big giant costume show.
Oh, nice.
So my mom and I are going to that. We're getting our costumes ready, and we're gonna do that. So we'll have some family members there. And 31st, probably on actual Halloween, we'll probably just do something. We're probably just gonna be. I don't know if we're gonna be in costume again, but we'll be outside, and at some point we'll be outside. We'll set up a table in the driveway, and just I guess. And now since we're in these COVID times, we're gonna have little bags of candy, so kids can walk by and grab a bag.
Yeah.
Good move, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people is going to be a plague doctor this year.
I would actually welcome that. If I saw a bunch of plague doctors, I'd be like, oh yes. I'd be like, oh yes, this is a good Halloween. Anybody remember that Halloween where the first Suicide Squad movie came out, and like everybody and their grandmama just dressed up as
Harley Quinn, yeah.
I even saw like little girls dressed up as Harley Quinn. I'm like, where are your parents? You have any idea what this character is?
Yeah, you have a good sense of being brought up. I mean,
I was like, where are your parents?
Make an old school Harley Quinn if it's gonna be your kids.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. If I saw an old school Harley Quinn, I'd be like, you know what, Harley Quinn's still kind of an adult character, but you know what? It's classic Harley. I ain't mad. It's classic Harley. I ain't mad. You have raised your child correctly.
Yeah.
And if I see the new one, I'm like, what the heck?
I think like the only thing I've tried to be with ponytails is Misa from Death Note for like J Popcorn, but that wasn't for Festival. That's for like a comic convention.
You know, actually, the one time where I actually saw a little girl dressed up like Harley, and I didn't go like "Where's your parents" route. Was actually it was actually a convention I went to years ago, and there was this cute little girl who dressed up as like the nurse Harley Quinn from the Arkham game series, from the Arkham Asylum game. And I remember she turned around and there was this Spider-Man, and she just threw out her arms like, "Hug me!" I was like, "Oh!" I was like, I could be mad about it. When I saw her in the nurse Harley Quinn, I was like, I'm not mad about this. And then she turned to this Spider-Man and just threw out her arms like, "Hug me," and like, "Hug me" or "Pick me up" or something. I near fainted. Like, that's just too precious. I was like, I can't be mad about this. This is too precious. Now I just need to see like a little kind of chibi, kind of old school Harley Quinn, and they'll be like, "All is right with the world." And then find a little Leatherface roaming around, like, "All is true. All is 100%."
Or the twins from The Shining.
There we go.
All girls be
like, I'll take it. Here's whatever the kid's name is.
But for me personally, I think like it became more grown up with all of the like scare houses and thrills that we are now seeking.
Decorations.
And the decorations is also going like overboard.
Yeah, they get bigger and better.
Everything is just like going out, like going off the deep end of like, okay, now it's becoming something where the grown-ups have to help. You get what I'm saying?
Just growing and growing until Halloween and Christmas together eat up Thanksgiving, and the three biggest holidays become Christmas, Halloween, and Valentine's Day after that, after the trend of companies realizing they can market that too picks up enough.
Yeah, but I just remember from the scare house, like, one of the things were being buried alive, and I was just like, no child is going to like wanting to do this. I hope not. Yeah. Even like grown-ups, I'm like, why would you ever do that to yourself?
Being buried alive gives the heck out of Daylover.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
No.
What are you gonna say, DC?
No, I was just gonna say, like, just going back to my thoughts, like, I feel like there are two things. Like, one, I feel Halloween is becoming more adult accepted and actually more of an adult holiday. I think, especially in terms of like sales. I think for the past few years, like, adult costumes and items have been selling more than kids, at least in terms of revenue. I've seen that few, but I think part of that, like, besides just being the holiday itself, is, like I said, what I really feel is transforming from Halloween is it's becoming less of a holiday and more of a holiday season, like Christmas. Yeah. Like all of October, even a little before that, is Halloween season, and people will have a lot of different events and decorations, and just sort of like it's a very much of a mood in the same way like Christmas is.
We have a skeleton on a bike, and we have a skeleton dog, and what was it more that I saw that I thought was creepy? A skeleton. Oh yeah, it was a skeleton postal worker, but he was split in two over the mailbox.
That's awesome!
Daylover is still in Wonderland with how we do Halloween in the States.
I need to go and we have to take pictures one of the days, because
I'll take pictures of like my house has Halloween decorations, and I'll see if I can take pictures of the other houses around the neighborhood too. There's the house behind me. One of the houses behind where my street has a dragon.
Yeah, like we have a dragon out here too, with its belly glowing.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it when people get creative with skeletons. I love that.
Yeah.
There was one house I'll never forget. This was so funny. There was an article about this. There was a house that had pole dancing skeletons. Oh my god!
That's amazing.
And I was like, oh my gosh, freaking genius. I wish I lived next door to that house.
Well, if thin models are your thing.
One of the conservative types got so mad, was so offended that I guess there was some sort of thing to try and get the homeowners to take the decoration down. I'm like, really? That's hilarious. Like it was a whole article about it. I thought that was so freaking genius. But people get so creative with their skeletons.
Yeah.
My favorite decoration, if I could, favorite decoration is the ones where it looks like a witch has just flown into the door.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite. I love it.
She's like, planted there, George of the Jungle style.
We do witches at Sankt-Hans, so that's where all of the witches is going to come out. We have, that there too. We actually like every year like we go to burn off like quote unquote a witch, but it's like these like made out of wood or made out of fireworks.
Nice.
So and you can get a fireworks that's called the witch's howl. So when you burn it sounds like a witch.
I think I know the sound you mean.
Yeah, it's so terrifying. Why are we doing that?
Nice.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
That already gave me a really fun idea. There's also some like all sorts of like people are celebrating it. Some of the Halloween art I see, like I follow a lot of T-shirt art, and they get so more and more and more creative and more clever every year, and especially I've been seeing a lot of people do this, a lot of witch art. A lot of people like making not the typical witches, but making them in not so typical colors and not so typical looks, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, nice. And like before we started this, I actually looked up Halloween ponies, and there's this like Pinkie Pie that's from I think maybe the Cupcake Factory or like Sad Cat, the Killing Pinkie Pie with it's eyes.
It's not that cupcakes. It's not that like cupcakes fanfic, is it?
Yeah, it's like dripping, like its eyes is dripping black ooze, and its mouth is dripping black ooze, and it's just like terrifying.
Oh, good God!
I was just like, why? Were
I did indulge once. I did a crossover blog with a guy who has a Ponies series about, what was it, Castle Sweet Castle, which, not one of my favorite episodes. I thought it forgot to have a point with anything it was doing pretty quick, but yeah, like, what was it? We decided to throw something into the blog that, because this was an ongoing series at the time between me and him, so for this outing that I had been replaced with an imposter come to sabotage the blog series who, when it, decides to fade out on the pair of eyes that didn't go anywhere, starts writing what happened next. I'm like, no, you can't end it that. Then the mysterious figure raised a mysterious hand from under the cloak, and lightning struck, and the lights went out, and the Ponies looked around the room. But then where Twilight once stood, a dark pair of eyes opened, and with a flash, the heroes of Equestria were gone, and in their place, some very different figures. And then, like, spam the blog with pony art of, like, the most horrifying images I could find for all of the 6. Good times. Even he was, like, kind of weirded out by where I was taking it at this point.
Yeah, the zombie ponies also. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oy.
I'm always thinking about calling upon the creeps when I like the 24 day later episodes.
Oh yeah.
With the cookies, I'm just like, no, don't eat the.
That episode wasn't that. They dropped the ball on the scary episodes at some time. Okay, Luna Eclipsed and Scaremaster, the actual Nightmare Night episodes stand pretty tall, especially Luna Eclipsed.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's go around for categories for favorites. How about the Halloween soundtrack? What are the best spooky songs that you gotta have around? We all know the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
well,
Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Bring Me Some Brains from Billy and Mandy. That song killed it. That is so underrated. And for the record, I kind of hate Billy and Mandy the show because I think it was a one-trick pony, a one joke. Hey, Mandy is the most evil thing of all. Isn't that so lolsy, hipster, edgy, whatever? I'm like, I might have gotten farther with that if you hadn't made Mandy the most obnoxious, hateable character. But Bring Me Some Brains, awesome song from an otherwise awesome episode, even if it does go out with that same old punchline of, hey, Mandy is the most evil thing of all, whatever, she sucks, but Bring Me Some Brains is awesome.
Halloween.
There's also
This is Halloween.
Also, Eat Your Brains from Jonathan Colton. That's an underrated classic.
Yeah. Or the zombie song from what they're called.
Zombie song.
No, it's not what it's called. I'll look it up while you guys find other ones. There's also the opening to Goosebumps.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's just a little jingle. I mean, we could do
it's like
soundtrack backings. We could debate that, but we all know that Halloween the movie is going to win.
Yeah.
Also, Somebody's Watching Me from the artist Rockwell.
Oh yeah. Feel
another Halloween
somebody's watching me.
And I have no privacy. Whoa. Love that song.
Nice, yeah.
Though I will have to say, as an honorary mention, just because I just finished the game, like, yeah, the spider dance from, like, Undertale is, I would say, worthy of mention here, especially some of the lyrical versions I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Could definitely see that for Spider Dance with Little Miss Muffet.
Gosh, I hated that fight so much, but I love that song. Especially because, like, what happened is, well, besides just being frustrating to beat because it didn't save me, like, the little special treat to make that fight easy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually beat her once. At one point, I was like, yes. I didn't save immediately afterwards, so I just put my PlayStation, like, on sleep mode. Normally that's good. This is one of those times where there's like a game update or something in the background, so I had to fight her again. It's like, gosh damn it.
It's
the zombie love song.
Yeah, the zombie love song from your favorite Martian.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one in years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Terror Time Again from.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, the Terror Time Again from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Mm. Oh, what's it called? The one from. No, I'll find it. Don't worry.
But you also know the zombie love song, Jen.
Yeah.
I'd never heard that one before Daylover introduced me to it. Did connection drop? Are we still here?
Yeah. I felt like there's some sort of something interrupted it, but it sounded like everyone went through. So I guess Skype shenanigans.
Go figure. Okay, so Daylover and Jenn, yeah, this would be something else they have in common. Hearing this zombie love song.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like there's one that, like, the second I hear it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, how could I ever forget it? But I'm. Oh, the Ghostbusters theme. You do have to have that.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Hey, does anybody have a capstone?
Capstone?
I don't.
What about the Scary Godmother music?
Oh, Mother Graffle.
There's Superstition too. No, the movie called Scary Godmother.
Oh, now I'm thinking about the one from I Got Friends on the Other Side.
That's a Disney movie.
Is that Halloween?
You know what the capstone is? the whole darn soundtrack of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah, that's a good film. That's a good
Let's
film soundtrack.
Yeah.
What is the band called that has a hand that's around the heart in barbed wire?
Oh, My Bloody Valentine or something.
I think.
Yeah, I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I mean, I'm
Yeah.
at a loss.
Oh,
All right. Well, there's
actually-
going to be one that I'm like, I should have said that later, but I feel like, yeah, not going to come up with it.
Oh, hey guys, I actually gotta run here. I've got to help out with some things here, but I unfortunately have to sign
All
off.
right. Well, I think we're coming to an end anyway soonish, so
Okay.
Yeah.
have a good
Close
rest
out
of
and
your
crown
day.
the best candy of Halloween.
Anything chocolate.
Yes.
Okay, oh wait, okay.
Whoopers.
Everybody name your top 3 candy bars right off the top of your head. What the most consistent one wins.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay.
All right, count it down.
Butterfinger Baby
3.
Ruth Twix.
Okay, at one, we will all say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Whoop,
Go!
Three Musketeers.
Butterfinger.
Whoopers,
Reese's.
Butterfinger, and
We're never going to agree with anything.
Well, that's it. Top 3, the most
I-
consistent one across the 3 wins.
Actually, let me give a more controversial thing as a question, like candy corn. Love it or hate it?
Love it.
I love it.
Love it.
Hate it.
All right.
Wow.
Especially the name brand stuff. Like some of the store brand can be horrible. The name brand stuff like Brax or something like that is good.
Maybe I've done just been
Never
lucky
liked
only
never
getting,
liked candy corn.
the good
Never
ones.
liked candy corns.
Yeah, I'm
Never liked
surprised
them.
you're on your own there, Jen, honestly. Like, candy corn is practically... it was a meme before there were memes about how hateable it supposedly is.
Mm-hmm.
Eh,
But
oh well.
But is
Well, I
it
gotta
better
run.
than,
Well, I actually got to
what
run
we get on
I
pizza?
got to run anyway, so I will have to sign off. I will have to sign off.
Aw.
So-
See
Take
you,
care.
Jen.
All right.
Thanks. Bye bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
But you wanna know something scary? Like what's that, kiwi or avocado on pizza? That's scary.
That's too scary even for the Halloween podcast.
What? Candy corn on pizza?
Oh well, like they can do that too. That's
The thing is,
is,
candy corn actually might work on a dessert pizza. That actually might be
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's dessert pizzas. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Not
all for
tried
that.
that yet.
Mhm.
Only the small ones. I've not tried the bigger ones.
Mm.
Yeah. So maybe for this Halloween we will have a candy pizza.
Well, that is more dangerous ground than most horror movies, getting a good one of those.
Yeah. So that's going to be a challenge.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
Any other final thoughts on Halloween?
I was going to
Halloween
keep cycling through categories, but I guess horror movies will have to be another day. They are a big
Yeah.
enough category for their own thing.
I was gonna make mention about like the Halloween shows that I was gonna mention for the topic here
Mhm.
that are new and recently come out recently, even though one of them is probably like a bit of a disappointment. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably make mention of 2 shows here.
Mhm.
For the first one, we have ourselves is Disney's brand new cartoon, The Ghost and Molly McGee,
Okay.
in which we have the voice actor for Master Shake from Aqua Team Hunger Force voiced the ghost character Scratch.
Mm.
I'm not even joking.
Nice.
How about
And from like what I see right now, it seems to be a much more low stakes comedy show for sure, with like minimalist continuity.
Mhm.
Like and it's just basically like sort of like the eternal story of like the optimist trying to like being stuck together with like a internal pessimist and having them slowly warm up, and the ghost in this case being the pessimist was thought that by cursing her would make her miserable, but realizes soon enough that it's like, I can't make her miserable, she's the curse to me.
No.
That's and legitimately, and now
Oops.
they're forced to be best friends
Backfire.
forever as a result of this.
All right. Oh shoot, do we need to go now? Like now?
I think so. Wasn't it?
Oh.
No. But like, yeah, you guys.
Oh, did we lose track? Oh,
Alrighty
shoot.
then.
Well,
Alrighty then,
Alright.
guys. See ya.
Have a good day and
Have a
have a
good
good
day.
Halloween season.
Yeah, you
Alright.
too. Spooky season.
See-
Don't get too afraid.
have a
Yeah.
blast, as we certainly will.
Mm-hmm.